Hi there guys, and welcome back to the redandbluesiteYT YouTube channel. Been a long break because of international break, work, etc. So I apologise. Again, lack of content. I should be getting better at this, I apologise. But, you know, back into the Premier League season, back at it with the videos, and it is time for a preview. As you can tell by the title, we are of course playing Liverpool this weekend, if you didn't know. Will be the live game as well, I believe, under the will be 3 o'clock kickoff. No, it won't be the live game, of course, because 3 o'clock kickoff, but will be one of the bigger games of the weekend, in my opinion, mainly because it's Liverpool and they're, title chasing Liverpool, but also because this fixture over the years has been a really, really interesting game. It's been a really closely fought fixture, and it's also brought out some really big moments in Premier League history. Crystal Ball being the biggest, in my opinion, 3-3 at Selhurst Park. In terms of this fixture, I mean, since Palace got promoted, this has definitely been one of the bigger fixtures that Palace have played, for sure. Some really big results over the years, and that Crystal Ball night was, anyone who was there would tell you, probably one of the best nights of Selhurst in modern memory, in recent memory. Going into this game, I have the feeling that, of course, Liverpool are favourites. I'm going to just say it right now, right here, right now. I think we will lose this game. Shock, surprise there. No surprise at all, really. I do think we will lose this game, even with the injury to Salah, which it's looking like it is a confirmation now that is going to be an injury, and Robertson as well. Both of those players look like they're going to miss out, which is big news for Palace. But even with those injuries, I still think Liverpool will have enough on the day. I will get into a bit more on how I think we can exploit those weaknesses that may come up because of the injuries that Liverpool have. I'll talk about that in just a moment, but I do think that this game over the years, as I said, have never been a battering. You know, last year was a comfortable win, I think, for Liverpool, and it was probably the most comfortable that fixture has been for Liverpool in a while. I think that even throughout the years, you know, they got a very late winner from Salah 2 seasons ago at Selhurst, a 1-0 win. You've had a last-minute penalty won by Benteke at Selhurst. We were 1-0 up, ended up losing it 2-1 in the 90-plus minute to a penalty. These have been very closely fought games, and I think with Liverpool's run, they're unbeaten. We're on a poor run of form. Had a 2-week break, which I think, because of international break, I think we needed that with the poor run of form we're on, albeit against really tough teams, tough fixtures. But we just need that break, I think, to regroup and go at it again. Maybe a slight change in tactics or ideas from Roy. You never know. And I think maybe this game has probably come at a good time for both teams in some regards. I think, it's a tough place to go for Liverpool. And I think that if they can get through this game with injuries, it's a great indication, especially the way they've managed to grind out results this season, like Aston Villa away, managing to get the win there when they probably weren't in a position to do it, weren't playing at their best. They still managed to get the result they needed to stay unbeaten, to keep going and, keep that gap between them and City. They can do the same again here with injuries to key players in their starting 11 at a place that they found quite tough in recent years. I think that is a big statement for them. I do think they will go on to win the league if they keep doing results like the ones against Villa. But eventually they are going to lose at some point. I do not think they'll go unbeaten for sure. The way they're playing isn't necessarily as good as they were playing at large portions of last season. So, who knows? It could end at Palace. It could end at Selhurst. It is a tough place to go for some of the bigger teams who maybe are not on it on their day. If we are on it, and the lights come on in the second half, you never know what could happen. But overall, I think they will be Liverpool's on the day. If we are going to get anything, it's got to be exploiting, as I mentioned earlier, those injuries. Having Salah out of that front three is a big deal. I know Origi will probably come in, and you've got Firmino and Mane there. The key thing is similar to the way City plays, to try and force those players inside and in and around the midfielders and the centre-backs. We're going to sit very deep. We'll have Cahill obviously dictating that back four. As I said, he's been such a leader, such a big addition to this Palace side this season. Really, words can't do him justice how much he's changed that back four, especially at home where we've leaked goals in previous seasons and been really poor in terms of getting even draws at home, but this season completely turned it round and already looking like a really good home side, which it's been a while since we've had that sort of statement. And then of course the midfield with Luca and the midfield three in general. I think if the very, very defensive, well, not very defensive minded, but it's more defensive minded midfield, the way we set up and the way we approach games. And I think the way that we can set up with those really deep centre midfielders and the really small gaps in between the defence and midfield, it's set up for a game to frustrate Liverpool, I think, and they'll have a lot of possession. We'll try and just hold the ball and or not hold the ball, but try and just frustrate them, keep the space really tight, narrow, no gaps in between midfield and defence. As I said, try and get the wingers to be forced inside into the danger zones, where there's more players, better chance of obviously plucking the ball away. Basically, do your basics right and play 99 out of 10 game for most of the players, and that will go a long way in us getting a result. And of course, with Robertson injured, you've got to try, whenever we get the ball, try and target that side of the pitch. I don't know who's going to fill in there. Maybe Milner dropping in at left back. He's done that before, but you've got to look at it. A defence that's probably one of, if not the best defence in Europe at the moment. If there's any weaknesses in the side, any rotation in the team, you've got to target that area, in my opinion. Any change in, system for them, any possible disruption in what's been comfortable for them, what's been a consistent back four, you've got to try and target it and make sure you're clinical when we're going forward. And it could be a big game for Wilf, who's had a slow start to the season, to try and get the ball running for him. So predicted lineup, of course, I think that it will be the same team that played against Chelsea. And in my opinion, I do think that, sometimes I've criticised Roy. I think it was criticism of Roy not to have gone a bit more ambitious, be a bit more ambitious against Chelsea, maybe swap out one of those midfielders for a more attack-minded midfielder. But in a game like this, I think against Liverpool and against City at a later date as well, I don't blame us at all for playing with three defensive-minded midfielders and looking to just really grind and make it a boring game. If you make it a boring game, it will frustrate Liverpool more, and it will slowly turn the game into more of an equal contest, if you like. So I don't think the tactics necessarily are bad, trying to go really defensive minded with the midfield. I think that's a bad tactic to go with at all against Liverpool. I think that's what Roy will do. I think it'll be an unchanged team. Maybe Benteke will get some more game time after scoring 2 goals in the international break. Could be a start of something for him. We've said that before, though. I'm doubtful, but who knows? Ayew scored in international break. Of course, Hennessy had a fantastic international break. Wales, them qualifying for Euros. So a lot of these players who went out on international duty are on a high, and the spirits will probably be high in the squad right now. So fingers crossed we can get the result. My prediction, I am going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I don't think we will get it on the day. But as I said at the start, I think it'll be a very, very close game. I can't see it being a massive battering from Liverpool. I can't see it being a big scoreline. I can see it being quite close, and a goal either way will decide it. Hopefully it goes our way on the day, but if it doesn't, you've just got to think that awful run of games we've been on is over. And now we've got until the new year, really. We've got next 4 or 5 games are very winnable. And if we can come out of the next batch of games, the next 5 batch of games with like 3 wins on the board at least, then we're in a good spot in the league, and we can something to build on, obviously, going into the second half of the season. So that's my thoughts, guys. Obviously, comment your thoughts below. More videos will be coming out now. I do apologise for the lack of videos. I will be trying to step it up now. Palace preview. Get your thoughts down below on Liverpool, and Liverpool fans watching as well. Your thoughts on the game. Do you think this is a potential banana skin for you? Your first loss of the season? I'm not overly confident, but I suppose the way you're playing right now, you're just as you're very confident you'll be getting results in every game. Let me know down below, as well as your score predictions, guys. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like and share as well. And I'll see you guys next time.